Hi, my name is Paul, and this is the first video in a short series showing you around PATools Invoicing. In this video, we will just start looking at how easy it is to create an invoice with the software straight out of the box. In later videos, we will see a whole range of customizations, a whole range of options that we can use to make the software much more useful to us. So we will start. When you open the workbook, having downloaded it, you will see invoices and credits. So we click on a brand new row, it can be any empty row, and we will do edit. And because it's an empty row, it means we're editing an empty invoice, in other words, a new one. So it's by default onto invoice with a new number. Today's date appears in here. We can change it if we wish, and we can address the invoice to whoever we want to address it to. Later on, we can pick these from a list, don't worry. But for now, let's just do a one-off, Smith Corp, at the street, the city, etc. We put in an email address, Mrs. Smith at smith.corp. I don't know if she exists, and we won't send an email in case. And then we can go to line items. Now in here, having completed the header, we can now put in up to 15 different lines in the body of the invoice and an amount against any one of those. But you don't have to. So we could put in here for work done, tab down and say 1 day, tab across 250. We could click down here and say expenses, tab around, put in a flight, let's say for 150, and we can save that. And we have now created invoice number 1, total of 400, invoice with the date, who it's to, all the header information, and then over here we can see the information that we've just put in. Can't accidentally delete any of this, it's all secure, but we can anywhere on this line say actually I want to edit that invoice because I realise I've made a mistake. The flight should have been 200, not 150, so we change that and we'll do save. Do we want to update and overwrite it? Yes we do. That's now for 450. Okay, so we're now ready to send this invoice, so we will go edit and we will select which template we want to use. We don't use VAT at the moment, so we'll use the template with no VAT, and we'll prepare an email. We'll do save. Do you want to update and overwrite it? Yes, we do. Even though we haven't changed anything, prepare the email. Yes. And off it goes, and lo and behold, it's created an invoice. Invoice number 1 attached. Invoice 1, there it is. We can, before we send it, we can edit it if we want. We can have a quick look at the invoice. If we do that, you'll see it's an invoice to Mr. Smith down here. Scroll down, invoice number 1, dated, and there's the details for work done, 1 day, nicely spaced out, 450. You'll see we haven't yet customized the template and put in all our information, either at the bottom or the top. Haven't put in our logo, but that's fine. So there it is. We could click send. I'm going to close it down, not save any changes, because that's not a real invoice. Now we will have a quick look. We can either create a new invoice in the same way, or we can edit this one, and instantly, instead of clicking edit, you can double click and it opens up, and we could say that this was another invoice to Mrs. Smith for work done. This time it might be for two days with a total of 500, still one flight for 200. And if we do save as new, save, we'll see that's created a new invoice, number 2, 700. So we've now got 2 invoices. So we haven't had to type in all the Mrs. Smith again. We haven't had to do all the same things as for the last invoice. So if you have repetitive invoices, it's very easy to pick up an earlier version, just edit it, and then save it as a new one. That's it for now. In the next video, we will look at customizing the template.